Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Big Flats, Texas. A map by TK Farms. I think it's been out for a while. Had my eye on this map since it came out. I'd say it's pretty indicative of the US of A type area. Texas, I'm only going to guess from the some of the comments that were left that it indeed is a good resemblance of Texas area. I've been to Texas. I've been to Texas many years ago. I went to Texas, Corpus Christi, Texas. I was there for a couple of weeks. Very long story. When I was much younger, wow, what an ordeal. Anyways, but I love the area. It was really nice. Excellent Mexican food. Holy cow. That's one thing I do remember. Really good Mexican food. And it was hot. Oh, it was hotter than the sun. So what are we doing here in Big Flats, Texas? Well, we have a large foraging contract to take care of. Quite large indeed. Certainly not one of the bigger fields on the map, but nonetheless a decent sized field. What do we have? We've got the big old John Deere. We've got a 9-meter corn head on there, chopping head, the John Deere 9900. I think this is pronounced HA. That's how I'm going to pronounce it, the SUW 5000. This actually is a modded version of the in-game SUW. I believe the only thing that's been modded about it is the capacity. She does hold 200,000 liters, I think. Haven't tested it, but that's what the mod author claims. And we're also using a modded John Deere 9RT, sporting 700 horsepower. Beautiful tractor. Beautiful tractor. And of course, we've got a Wilson, I believe a Wilson trailer. Indeed it is, the Wilson Pace Setter. And this beautiful Peterbilt 389. Double check on this. I think it's our expendables. Yeah, no, I don't think it is. I'll have the mod information as I normally do. Really nice truck though. Nice day cab. CB radio. But I'll have the mod information in the description below. Actually, I'll have it on our Discord server. That's where I always put a list of our mods. And of course, an invite to the Discord server will be in the description below as well. Let's get started. We want to. Oh, we are in the John Deere. We need to get there. There we go. We'll do first waypoint. Make sure Doctor Chino's office worker dude is not in the mix. Let's see if we can get going on this. So how's everybody doing? How's your week been? My week has been interesting, I guess is a good way to put it. Interesting to say the least. Interesting in the way that I have been battling a little bit of illness. I guess something's going around. Cold flu season, maybe, I guess. I haven't been sick in a while, but whatever it is that's going around has got me. I'm getting a little bit better. My throat, my voice might be a little bit choppy here and there. My apologies if that's the case, if you can hear it in my throat, but we'll do the best we can. I'd rather not hit this sign if we can avoid it. But yeah, we're going to get the job done tonight. Pretty decent contract. I think we're sitting in the neighborhood of $60,000-$70,000. Ooh, there's a stop sign right there. I should probably avoid. Once we get done with this, look at the stream on that bad boy. Once we get done with this headland, we probably will have it a little easier. If I can avoid poles, stop signs, road signs, etc., we might actually survive this contract. Welcome to 2024, right? Still feels kind of weird, even just saying that. '24 always makes you wonder what is in store. What do we have in store for 2024? Oh, man, that is a wicked stream. Hey, I'll be happy if we just have a dull year. I'd be okay with that. An uneventful, unnewsworthy year. No question about it. Missing mods. I've got a little bit of a mod. I'm jonesing a little bit, I'd say, for mods right now. It feels like it's been a while since we've had some mods. I guess it hasn't been that long, but we've gone spells before where we haven't seen new mods. But I'm looking forward to seeing some more new mods. I'm looking forward to seeing what the heck Giants is gonna do this year for the game. I mean, something's got to happen. Either we have to. I mean, I guess I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. How many times can I say I don't know? I don't know. I mean, are we going to see a new version of the game? Are we going to see a Season Pass 3? And if we do see a third Season Pass, what are they offering? Haven't heard any news about any kind of DLC. Haven't heard any news about, any new content whatsoever. Or are we going to just not have anything? I find that hard to believe. Financially speaking, I don't even know how that would work for Giants to just go a full year without producing anything that brings income. So I have to believe they're going to be doing something that's going to be bringing in some cash. It's weird how quiet it's been about it. Do you all get the Giants, what do they call it? Do they call it the newsletter? Is it a Giants newsletter? It's like a quarterly thing, I think, that comes out. If I remember right, the last one didn't have any kind of information about 2024. Now, something may have come out here in the past couple days. I have kind of been out of it. I've been out of the loop. I've been out of circulation as far as any announcements go. Oh, you're not going to scooch over there, buddy? Where are we going to go to? Where are we driving to? I guess we'll just follow. But yeah, I haven't seen anything. Now maybe they have brought something out and said, hey, this is what's going on. I know that they're going to continue to produce content, I guess, for the mobile version. But I'm not particularly into the mobile version. We're getting pretty full here. I guess we'll just go ahead and see where we're going to end up. Hopefully our driver knows what they're doing. Oh, there goes the sign. I knew that was going to happen eventually. Boy, that thing got wrecked. Stop sign's going to get wrecked. Should we just go ahead and finish that one off too? Okay, I have a feeling he's going to turn around, or she. I guess it's a she. And we're going to start doing the up and down business. All right, let me get combobulated here. Oh, here comes traffic just in time. Did I wipe out another sign? It seems like I maybe just did. Yeah, we're back on. Here we go. You're good to go. Well, I'll get in trouble for saying hun. Oh man. But yeah, it's been a ride. this farming simulator. I don't know if you had your choice. Would you want a season pass, a third season pass, and more DLC, and just stick with the version we got? Or are you ready for the next version of Farming Simulator? I feel like I'm ready for the next version. I feel like I'm ready for whatever the next version is. Alright, thank you very much. We'll go on load. Let's just... Oh, what you doing? Oh, okay. I guess that's good. Now, I have not tested the unloading process, so I can only hope. Can we unload from this side as well, or is it only... You're not too happy about that, are you? You want to be on the other side, it looks like. I hope so. Oh, don't swing around that way, man, because... Let's see if this will make it happy. It should unload into this Wilson. No? Maybe not. Do I need to unload here? I don't think I should have to do that. That doesn't feel right to me. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think so. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Well, I am not gonna fix that. That's gonna be that's gonna be something we're gonna have to deal with later, I guess. Why is it not unloading into this trailer? It's supposed to. Oh, that's bad. That's so bad. All right, pipe out. Maybe it will. Maybe I need to. Let's try something here. Maybe I should have tested this, but I know the Wilson trailer shows chaff as a... We're gonna have to move this pile. We're gonna have to move the truck so I can get in here, but just for now, I should be able to. Oh, it is not. It is not liking. It's not liking this at all. All right, let me see what's going on with this. I'll be right back. All right, well, we are back. I could not get it to work. I cannot figure out why it doesn't want to unload into our truck. Yeah, I guess, I don't know. I double checked, and that Wilson trailer does allow for chaff. So I don't know what's going on. But the good news is we can deliver our goods right there at the old Texas Depot, Grain Depot, or whatever it's called there. It's more than happy to take our stuff. So that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna run with it, skip the truck. We'll have to bring a front loader over and pick up all the chaff that I decided to dump on the road. Get that cleaned up at some point or another. That's probably a good, what, 50, 60? No, it was only like maybe 30,000 liters maybe sitting there. I guess we could probably clean it up with a little easy development tools, but I've noticed I've used easy development tools to delete ground, I don't know what it calls it, ground something. And it does, generally it does a good job, but what it does like to do is if it's tall, so if they're like extra tall windrows that you want to delete, or in this case that mound right there, it tends to delete it up to only so much of a height, and then doesn't like to remove the rest. Probably what I just said doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Well, I'll show you here real quick. So if we come over here, we're standing right up on top of this bad mamba jamba. And we go to objects and fill types, I believe it is. Clear tip area, all. Radius, so all would be any kind of products. Radius we'll do 20 meters. Why not? And we'll say yes to that. And it didn't work at all. That's lovely. That usually at least gets rid of some. Let's try it one more time. So clear tip area. Maybe we'll pick... Maybe we'll be specific. We'll be Pacific with it. We'll say chaff. Oh, and the whole map? Chaff map. Yeah, let's try that. There we go. Bye-bye. I like that. We'll leave that alone. That won't get squirrely. Alright, let's get back to work. There, the dozer has come. The dozer has cleaned up our mess. And we're good to go. Easy peasy. Excuse me for uno momento, por favor, as I grab a bit of an adult water beverage. I can feel my throat going south quickly. At least we have a fairly easy cruise control job where it's not too bad to have to do that. I should probably stay away from the adult stogies tonight. Probably not the best thing for my situation. But yeah, I'd say, you know, I don't remember much of being down in Texas. Corpus Christi, of course, is, I think, pretty far south in the great state of Texas. I do remember Texas being generally flat, so I would say the map kind of has that certainly accurate. A very flat map. Looks like it would be a really good map if you just want to open up with some, you know, some fairly large equipment. Oh, let me get on this side so I'm not driving on the corn. You know, it seems like a good map for stuff like getting a couple big buds. Maybe even a fleet of big buds. Some of the bigger John Deere or Case sewing machines. Maybe even get the Burgle going. It has that feel to it, just that big equipment. Everything's bigger in Texas, I guess, is what I have been told. I was in Houston. It's all coming back to me now. It is all coming back to me now. I was in Houston for a week as well. That was still probably 20 years ago. Maybe not quite 20, maybe 15. I was down there for some kind of a training thing for IT. I believe at the time, somebody's got a big center down there. If it's used to be Combat, I think, I think Dell might have a big place down there now. But anyways, so yeah, I was in Houston, and all I remember about Houston, I remember it being even hotter than Corpus Christi. It was muggy beyond belief. The humidity must have been 150 plus, if that's even possible. It was. I remember it being, I remember the traffic was horrendous. And I was living in Chicago at the time, well, a suburb of Chicago. So I was used to some nasty traffic. But this traffic at Houston was at a different level. I think the only traffic I've ever been in that was worse, that I've actually had to drive in, is Boston. It was a nightmare. It was a flippin' nightmare. Flew into Boston's airport, I don't know what it's called, but the main airport in Boston, and got a rental, and my goal was, at the time, to get over to Maine, and get over to, what is that whole... Now I can't even remember. I can't even remember what it's called. It's big touristy spot there on the coast. Anyways, getting out of Boston was a freaking nightmare. And I went in there feeling pretty confident because of Chicago and dealing with several different toll roads in Chicago. The toll roads suck bad. Honey, don't do that. There's nobody there. Just keep it, and I'll be right back. But, so I went in feeling pretty confident. Boy, did I get smacked down. What a nightmare. Now, I've heard, and I think this was before the, something called the Big Dig was completed, because I guess Boston was working, at the time they were working on, you better unload for me here. There we go. Be my luck, that's not going to work anymore. I do like the way this trailer dumps more than that one on Tranquil Waters we have. I like the trailers that don't have to tilt a lot to dump, especially when you're getting that TMR fed to the cows. Makes life a little easier to not have a tilt trailer. Anyways, so yeah, I got schooled on traffic, no doubt about it. Mr. Train, how you doing, buddy? Otherwise, Houston was, I remember it being a kind of a cool city, though. I remember it had some pretty neat shopping areas, and I think it was fairly big on the arts and stuff. So it was a, I don't recall it being feeling like it was a dirty city or anything like that. I seem to remember Houston, walking away, if it wasn't for the nasty temperatures and the traffic, I actually thought Houston was pretty decent. Never been to Dallas. I kind of would like to be. I've heard Dallas is kind of a cool city. I really did like Chicago. When I did have a chance to go downtown, hop the train and go downtown, I enjoyed Chicago quite a lot. The food variety and the food quality was excellent, and a lot to offer in Chicago. Quite liked it. The suburbs I mean, if you can't find what you want or need in that area, I'm not sure exactly what it is you could possibly be looking for. Other than one thing that comes to mind, but we won't talk about that. Specifically something to do with home protection. Heard from my folks today, they're finally getting some snow in Minnesota. Still dry as a bone here. Well, dry from snow. We have gotten some rain, just been kind of dull, cloudy weather. I don't think there's supposed to be anything in the forecast of any significance either. I don't know, but kind of a weird winter so far. Certainly not good for the snowboarders and skiers, downhill or cross country. Never been snowboarding in my life. I am pretty confident I would suck very badly at it. I've been used to do downhill skiing pretty regularly in my younger years. Got pretty into that. Enjoyed that tremendously. Really enjoyed it. But snowboarding, I never really. It wasn't that big a thing when I was younger, and I think by the time it was really growing in popularity, I was probably just too afraid to even do it. That looks like an ankle or leg breaker situation to me, so no thanks. I think I'd do the downhill skiing again, though. I think there's like skating, skiing. I think there's things that you just don't really completely forget how to do. You know, riding a bike. I think I would definitely have to break myself in a little easy, but it'd probably come back eventually. The easy way or the hard way. I don't know if any of you have ever seen that movie. Oh boy, I forget what it's called, but those people that get stuck on that ski lift. It's kind of one of those movies that you watch the first. Well, I skipped the first 15-20 minutes because I don't care at all about the characters. It's not like you're going to get some big character development anyways, you know. It's just going to be 3 or 4 people. You don't really care what their backstory is because it's just not relevant necessarily. And so I skipped the first 20 minutes just to get to the meat of it, to the point where I can see why they got stuck on the lift. And then I watched, I think, another 15-20 minutes to see what happened to the first person, because almost guaranteed one of them is going to do something stupid straight away, which it happened. And then you can skip the part where, you know, it's all the tearful stuff, like, oh, you know, I'm so sorry that this happened, and, you know, if we don't make it, you know, I just want you to know how I feel, blah, blah, blah. And then I skip towards the end to see how it all gets wrapped up. You know, how many are going to get frozen, who's dying, who's going to survive. There's a lot of movies like that. Those survival deals where I saw another one where it was those, man, have you seen the one where those 2 girls climb that radio tower? And they get stuck at the top of that radio tower? I doubt it, because I don't know, maybe 10 people have watched that movie. I really don't know how popular it was. I don't think it was, but that's another perfect example of skipping the first 20 minutes, watch them climb the tower, skip another few minutes, watch them get stuck, skip the next hour of them kind of yapping, and then kind of get towards the meat of it to see how they're gonna either get down or fall or hang out up there and die, and somebody will find them eventually when somebody reports bad reception. Hey, I'm not getting channel 9 anymore. Can you go find out why? That'd be awful. I mean, as far as those kind of movies go, I guess it wasn't that bad, actually. It was decent. And there's ones like that where you get the underwater ones. There was another one where I think a couple of ladies are diving or something like that. I seem to remember there being a cage involved. There was another one where that couple, oh boy, that one was based on a true story. That one freaked me out. That one definitely freaked me out, because I could see that legitimately happening, and it did actually legit happen. That couple that were out diving, they were on vacation, and they took that boat, a group of divers out, and you've probably heard of this, and they dropped them off, and they were all, by the time they were done, uh-oh, I think we're full. That can't be good. Do we call the train and sell it? Excuse me. Can I call a train over here? Is that what this whole gizmo is about? I don't know that this is a train pickup one, or if this is a... Oh, it is a train pickup one. It sure looks like it, doesn't it? Let's turn on our markers. Let's call a train. I'm assuming that's going to help. Let's let the train show up, and we'll unload this thing and get it sent off. So yeah, they got stranded. The people that ran the boat deal miscounted and didn't realize, they thought they had everybody, and they left them out there in the middle of the ocean. That would be horrific. That would be absolutely horrific. And of course, you know, initially, initially you would be, and I know I would be, just convincing myself that they're going to notice, you know, they're going to notice we're not there. Let's just hope we don't drift very far. They'll send everybody and their brother out to find us. We'll be okay. Because clearly they're going to know we're not, you know, we're missing. Even when they get back, even if they make it back to the shore, they're going to see that our equipment is there, and they're going to wonder, well, whose equipment is this that didn't get picked up? And Mr. Train, are you oh, is this, are you coming? I think it's coming. I can hear it. Oh yeah, I can hear it. Yeah, here it comes. Here it comes. Whoa, hello. It's flying. Ah. But yeah, boy, what a nasty deal. So they ended up, well, I don't know if I want to spoil it, but anyways, changes were made. Changes were definitely made to that deal. What do we need? We need this car right here, I do believe. Can we stop? Thank you very much. We need to open you up. And we should be able to load some chaffee in here. Yeah, let's do that. Let's get you loaded up. That'll make some room for us. We might need to fill up this car. We can probably, I don't know how much this holds. Is it 80? Hold 90. 100. 110. Oh, it holds quite a bit. I didn't think it was going to hold this much. Does it hold 200? Do you hold 200, buddy? That wouldn't be too shabby. It's still going. Holy cow. That's going to be 300,000, I think. Yeah, they made some changes. Some deal, or 250. Okay. They made some changes with it where it was like, let's get the horn. Horn? I think there's a horn. Yeah, we got the horn. They made some changes where I guess they made it mandatory for like for having like you know how you do like a deal like they do in the I think they do this in mining operations where they have two keys or two kind of metal things, and you take one off the board and one is left back so they know. Something along those lines. So I know they made some changes as far as that goes. I guess eventually like the hotel were the first ones to notice it because they didn't check out when they were supposed to. It's awful. There's more to the story too. I won't get too much into it, but yeah, stuff like that is pretty crazy. Then there was another movie I saw where it was kind of a similar, not really, but a group of young people were like out on this boat, this kind of really nice yacht kind of thing. And somehow or other they managed to all go swimming and forgot to, the last person well, the last person, but none of them remembered to drop the ladder down off the side of the boat, I guess. I think if I remember right, that was the deal. They all kind of dove off the boat, and eventually they realized, why didn't anybody drop the ladder so we could get back on? Yeah, that would suck too. That'd be horrible. I don't know if that'd be better or worse. But all those kind of movies are generally the kind where you can skip the first 15-20 minutes of nonsense, get to the incident that sets everything up, and then kind of fast forward. Some of them have things that happen in between that are kind of interesting, but for the most part, it's an hour-and-a-half movie. If they really stretch it out, maybe a 2-hour movie that you can pretty easily condense down to about 15 minutes. Kind of reminds me of most of my Let's Play episodes, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, now that I think about it, that sounds awfully familiar. Well, we are not going to be able to finish this contract, so I think we are going to get ready to wrap up business here. This will be, I think this is the last of the Traveling Contractor videos. I guess if I'm in a mood, maybe we'll do one more, but I think this is probably going to be it for us for the Traveling Contractor. I don't think we're going to go back to Throwback Thursdays again. If I get in the mood, and I'm going to look over some maps and just see if there's any throwback maps that really kind of get me wanting to play. If you have any suggestions, let me know of any throwback stuff that you want to see. Basically maps that were in previous versions of the game that you'd like to see us revisit. I wouldn't mind doing it. It's just I figure if we can always just go straight to doing a 5-day Let's Play on the same map. We're going to be wrapping up Tranquil Waters relatively soon, so we'll be starting a new Let's Play anyways coming up. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. I appreciate that. Thanks for putting up with my voice. I know it wasn't the best here, but hopefully I'll get to feeling a little bit better sooner than later. You all take care of yourselves. I hope you're doing well. Have a great Thursday. We'll be back in Tranquil Waters tomorrow. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. I'd sure appreciate that. As always, feel free to subscribe. Feel free to join the channel. Feel free to also check out the Discord server. I'll put a list of the mods that I use for this video out there on our Discord, so that just in case you want to check them out, you'll know exactly what we used. If there's no links, by the way, if there's not a link to the mod, it's in the Giants in-game mod hub. I just put links if they're external. And that should do it. Thanks everyone. I appreciate it once again. Thanks for your comment. Thanks for your feedback. Always appreciate it as well. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.